Happy day, students. So let us start today the last topic of waves, and that is Doppler's effect. Okay, and what is Doppler's effect? It says that whenever there is relative motion between source and observer, the frequency received by observer is apparent frequency, which is not the actual frequency produced by the source. Okay, why it's happening? Because of relative motion. Now relative motion means what? Either source can move, or observer can move, or both are moving. In all the three cases, the frequency received by observer will be apparent frequency. Let us take an example. If we say that here is a source and here is observer. Let us say that this is at rest. Okay, and this source is producing frequency of 5 Hz. Okay, frequency is 5 Hz. That means it's producing 5 cycles in 1 second. In 1 second. Okay, that means 1 cycle in how many seconds? 1 cycle it is producing 1 by 5 of a second. That means each cycle in 0.2 of a second. Okay, now let's assume this is a source and let's assume that it is moving backwards, because we said that there should be relative motion for apparent frequency. Suppose this source produced one frequency here. Okay, and then it takes 0.2 seconds to produce the next frequency. So what happens? This source went back for 0.2 seconds. Let's assume that then at that time S is reached over here. Okay, so now for the first cycle that it produced, the distance traveled by the sound is d. But for the second one, it will travel how much? d plus Vs into 0.2 seconds. Why 0.2? Because that is the time in which the second frequency is produced or second cycle is produced. So how much distance the second cycle is traveling? d plus 0.2 Vs, whereas this is traveling d only. Okay, so it will take more time to reach over. If suppose we compare it with when both are at rest, source is also at rest and observer is also at rest. Okay, so source produced first cycle, it travels distance d. Okay, then it produced second cycle, that is also traveling d. Third cycle, that is also traveling d. Fourth cycle, that is also traveling d. Fifth cycle, also traveling d. So observer receives all this in 1 second only. Okay, let's assume that this sound travels and takes some time to reach over here. Okay, let's say time t. So from here to t plus 1 second, these all 5 will be coming towards it. But see in this case now, what's happening? First cycle is traveling distance d, whereas second is traveling more distance. Third will travel even more. Fourth will travel even more. So what happens? It takes more time. So in 1 second, observer will receive how many cycles? Definitely less than 5. It will be less than 5. But what is produced by the source? Source produced 5. In this case, what observer is getting? 5 only, because same distance is traveled by each cycle. Okay, it will take same time to travel. And since the gap between them is 0.2 seconds, here also they are reaching 0.2 seconds. But here, the gap is going to increase. Why? Because the distance traveled by each cycle is different. So that's why the frequency received by observer will be different. This is how we are saying that the frequency received by observer is not actual but apparent. Okay, let's see. There are cases and there are formulas for it. We will derive all the formulas. So in first case, we are saying source is in motion. Okay, and observer is at rest. And observer is at rest. Okay, source is here, observer is here. And we say that source is moving towards observer in the first case. Okay, source is moving towards observer, its speed is Vs. And speed of sound, V. Okay, and the frequency it produces is F. Who is producing F frequency? Source. Now, how much is the frequency received by observer? We have to find. Okay, see how we are going to do now. there is a distance between source and observer and I am assuming it, then it's lambda. I am assuming it. Why? For our convenience. I assumed it, this is equal to 1 wavelength. Okay. Now, this source produced first cycle. This source produced first cycle. After how much time the next cycle will be produced? After one time period. Okay. The gap between each cycle is how much? One time period. The time interval between two cycles is t, which is time period. Okay. So now source has produced one cycle. Okay. Then after t time it's going to produce the next cycle. So where is the source after t time? It must have traveled some distance. Let's say it's here. Okay. So how much distance this source has traveled? Vst. Okay. Now when the source has reached over here, this is the new position. Okay. Now for observer, when observer is going to receive the frequency produced by the source here, for the observer, what is the wavelength? That we are going to see. Okay. So there are two things that I will explain you. In the first case, when the source is at this position, first wavelength it has produced, first cycle it has produced. So how much is the distance traveled by it? Lambda. So observer feels that the wavelength of the sound produced by the source is lambda, because this is the actual distance it's traveled. When the source reach over here, then observer feels this is the wavelength. Okay. Now what is this wavelength? Just check. This will say is lambda minus Vs. Lambda is actual. Why? Because it was in the initial position. But this is not actual. This is the apparent value that this observer is getting because source has moved. So we will call this thing as lambda apparent. What is lambda apparent? Lambda minus Vs. Okay. Now this is very important. Remember that whenever source is in motion, wavelength is changing, or wavelength will change for the observer. It will become apparent. So lambda apparent is lambda minus Vst. Now this lambda apparent I am writing is speed of sound by frequency apparent. That's equal to lambda. Now what is lambda? Lambda is the distance traveled by the sound in one time period. So what we can write it as? Vt. Distance traveled by sound in one time period. This speed of sound is V time period t minus Vst. Okay. So what we can do further? This is F apparent. So F apparent we can take that side and this thing we can bring down. So it becomes V by V minus Vs into T. Okay. Now this 1 by T I can write as frequency. So what it will become? Vf by V minus Vs. Okay. So this is the apparent frequency received by observer when the source is going towards it. Okay. Now let's see the second case in that one. What can be the second case? When the source is moving away. Okay. So when the source is moving away, what we can do? Just see. So here is the source again. Here is the observer. The source is moving away with the speed Vs, whereas speed of sound is V and the frequency it's producing is F. Just like the previous case, I'll assume that when it is here, this distance is lambda. That means actual wavelength that observer is receiving is lambda. Why? Because source is here. Now, when you are talking about the second frequency when it is going to produce, so in before second frequency or before second cycle rather, this source has moved. Okay, how much it has moved? We know that the second cycle will be produced after one time period. So the source has moved here how much? Vs into T. Okay, so new position of the source is here. So for observer now, wavelength has what value? Lambda plus Vst. Okay, For observer, what is wavelength? Lambda plus Vst. So we will write again lambda apparent, lambda plus Vst. Again, this is very important. I am saying you that you need to remember lambda also. Now lambda we can write as V by F apparent. Okay, and this lambda I am going to write as distance traveled by the sound in one time period. That means Vt plus Vst. Okay, so F apparent now is V by V plus Vs into T, and again 1 by T we can write as F. So this will become Vf by V plus Vs. Okay, remember again, this lambda is a function of the source. Whenever source will move, lambda will change. If source is at rest, lambda will not change. Now let us take the second case in which observer is in motion and source is at rest. Let's see now how to find those. So source is at rest now, observer is in motion. Observer is in motion. Okay, here is source, here is observer. Source is at rest, but sound is being produced by the source. It's going towards the observer, and the frequency is, actual frequency is F. Observer is coming towards the source now. Let's say its speed is VO. Okay, because source is at rest, there is no change in wavelength. Okay, so what is happening in this one? We will say the velocity of sound with respect to observer. We'll find that. So velocity of sound with respect to observer will be what? Will be Vs. This is sound. So sound speed is V, not Vs. Okay. Velocity of sound with respect to observer. So V minus V. Okay. What we are getting? V plus V. Okay. What is velocity of sound with respect to observer? V plus VO, because they are coming towards each other. Now this is actual speed or apparent speed? Apparent, because it's due to the motion of the observer. So inside this is apparent. V apparent is equal to V plus V. What I can write speed as, you know that it's equal to frequency into wavelength. Fine. So F apparent into wavelength equal to V plus VO. So F apparent is what? V plus VO by lambda. And lambda is what again? Distance traveled by sound in one time period. So again, we are going to write it as V plus VO by Vt. And 1 by T is frequency again. So that formula is V plus VO by V into F. So when the observer is coming towards the source, V plus VO by V into F is the frequency, the apparent frequency received by the observer. Opposite case, on this one itself we can do it. Opposite case means is this observer is moving away from the source with VO. Okay, so then what is the velocity of sound with respect to observer? V minus, now this is going in the same direction, so this minus will not come. So what we are going to get over here? This will become V minus V naught. Okay, here also V minus V naught. This all will change. Okay, only plus will become minus. So now the formula is V minus V naught by V into F. And in this case, when the observer is in motion, apparent wavelength is not there. Okay, wavelength will be actual. Now, after seeing all these four cases, we are going to combine them. And because of combination, we will find what is the apparent frequency received by the observer. Okay, let us see. So see what we can do. Suppose source is here, it's moving with the speed Vs, and observer is here, which is also moving towards the source. Okay, speed of sound is as usual V, and frequency produced by source is F. What is the apparent frequency received by the observer? Okay, directly we can write. Now what we saw in the formula, whenever we are talking about the observer's motion, we are keeping it in numerator. If observer is coming towards, we write v plus vo in numerator. If observer goes away, we write v minus vo. So here this observer is coming towards the source. So I am writing it as v plus vo. Okay, let's talk about source now. When the source comes towards the observer, in the denominator we write v minus vs. Okay, if the source goes away, we write v plus vs in the denominator. So here source is going towards the observer, so I am writing v minus vs into f. Okay, this is the apparent frequency. Is source in motion here? Yes. So wavelength will be apparent. So what will be apparent wavelength? Now we have to see that whether source is going towards observer or going away. Going towards. So then it is lambda minus Vs. What it is? Lambda minus Vs. That is the apparent wavelength. Okay. And suppose we can write further values in terms of frequency we want, we can change it. We can write this as Vt. Okay, this will become Vt minus Vst. So it will become V minus Vs into T. For T we can write as 1 by F. So that way also possible. Okay, so it will become V minus Vs by F. Now another case we can see in this one. What can be the another case? Both are going away from each other. And this VO is in other direction here and Vs is in other direction. So what will be F apparent? It's very easy. Now this time this is going away. In the numerator we will be writing V minus VO. And here Vs, the source is also going away. So in the denominator we will be writing V plus Vs into frequency. This is the apparent frequency. Apparent wavelength. Now source is going away, so it will increase the lambda plus Vs. Again, if you want to write in terms of frequency, lambda we can write Vt, Vst, so it's V plus Vs into T, which you can write as 1 by F. Okay, more case, what can be more? Now if source is already moving towards left and let's say observer is following it. Both are moving in same direction. Okay, now what to do for this one? Let's see F apparent now. So first of all, let's see for the source. Source is going towards the observer or away? It's going away. Observer, is it going away from the source or is going towards? It's going towards the source. Okay. So for observer is numerator. Is it going towards? So we'll write V plus VO. Now we'll talk about source. Source is going towards observer or away from it? Away from it. So V plus Vs into F. Again, if apparent wavelength we have to find, we have to see the source. Source is going away. So we'll write again lambda plus Vs. Okay, what more case is possible now? The more case possible is this time we can say observer is going away and source is following it, like this. What to do in that case? Let's see. So first we will see observer. Observer is going away, so V minus V. Source is going towards, so V minus Vs into F. What about apparent wavelength? Source. Source is going towards, so lambda minus Vs. Okay, these are all the combinations of the motion of observer and sources. Okay, now what kind of questions do we expect in Doppler's effect? That we will see. So first question is, first question we are going to see, if suppose there is a person here at rest, a source, a moving source, let's say a car, is coming towards it with speed Vs, producing the sound whose speed is V, and its frequency is f. So car is coming towards it, and after passing, car will move to the other side with the same speed vs. So question asks us, what is the difference between the frequencies received by the observer when car is approaching it and when car is receding it? Again, difference in the frequencies received by the observer when car is approaching it and when car is receding it. Okay, so I am saying during approach, okay, the frequency is f1. So what is f1? This is coming towards, observer is at rest. So V, source is coming towards, so V minus Vs into f. Okay, during approach. During going away, who is going away? Source is going away. Then let's say frequency is f2. What will happen? Observer is again at rest. So V by, it's going away. So V plus Vs into f. Okay, now what we have to do? We have to find the difference. Difference in frequencies. Let's see that. Say f1 minus f2 is the difference in frequencies. f1 minus f2. Let's see here. What we can take common? So V by V minus Vs into f. V by V plus Vs into f. So Vf is common in both. So take common. f1 we can write as 1 by V minus Vs minus 1 by V plus Vs. Okay. Take its LCM. Become V square minus Vs square. V plus Vs minus V minus Vs into Vf. Okay, so what's the answer? Let's check. It's Vf here. This is V and V. This gets cancelled. Vs minus minus of Vs. So this is 2 Vs by V square minus Vs square. Okay. Let's see another question. In this question, we are going to see the reflection. Okay, what happens when the sound is getting reflected? Okay, let's see first. Suppose here there is a reflective wall. Okay, and here is one car. And inside car there is a person who is driving. Okay, this car is coming with the speed Vs, speed of sound is V, and the frequency produced by car is f. Now this car produces a sound. Okay, it goes to the reflective wall, and after reflection it comes back to this person. Okay, we want to find out what is the frequency of the sound received by this person after reflection from the wall. Okay, how to calculate that? How to get the reflection frequency? That we have to see. So, we are going to solve it now. So, first thing that we are going to do with this reflective wall, we consider this as observer. Okay, so the question is observer moving? Is wall moving? Answer is no. It is at rest. So is source moving? Yes. So frequency received by wall will be, the observer is red, so V, source is coming towards, so it's V minus Vs into f. This is the frequency received by the wall. Same frequency is getting reflected. Able to understand? Same frequency is getting reflected. So now when you talk about reflection, who is the source? Wall has become the source. This is the source. Now, is source moving or at rest? It's at rest. Wall is at rest. Then, who is the observer? This car driver. Car driver is the observer. Is it moving? Say yes, it's moving. So this time, the frequency received by this person, I am writing f apparent. Okay, source is at rest. and observer is coming towards the wall, coming towards the source. So V plus Vs. Why Vs? Because observer speed is Vs only. Okay, so V plus Vs by V into the frequency. Which frequency? Frequency of the wall. So F W. Okay, because this is the source and this is the observer. Let's put FW value. V plus Vs by V into FW is this. That's Vf by V minus Vs. So V gets cancelled over here. What are we getting? V plus Vs by V minus Vs into F. Is that okay? So that is all for this class. In the next class we will see further questions on Doppler's effect.